this may be one of my favorite films of all time. Not like favorite for a genre. I think this may be in like people always find out that you like films or you're a filmmaker and they go, "What's your favorite movie?" And I'm like, "That's an idiotic question. How can you answer that?" This is up there. This is in the top 5. This is like, I fucking love every single second, moment, minute thing about this fucking movie, and I will fight all of you in Temecula.
I'm waiting for you and Tad to go at it then.
Yeah, I hate this. I hate everything about this movie. I hate every character in this movie. I hate the plot of this movie. I hate the dialogue in this movie. I hate the music in this movie.
The music is
shitty. I hate the shitty.
You hate Vivaldi? You fucking.
I do hate
What's
Vivaldi.
wrong with you?
I hate the fucking cinematography in this movie.
Amazing in this movie.
No, you cross line with me, buddy.
The pacing,
Chris,
the pacing.
I
I
love this Kirk Douglas lookalike.
I have a whole list of like, one is like the cinematography and the pacing and the fucking compositions are so beautiful.
No,
I am 100% with you. 100%.
Everything is 20 to 25% wrong in this movie. Like it's trying really, really hard and it's not getting there, and I hated it. And I could not care less about any of the people.
I don't think
in
it's
this
trying
movie.
hard at all. I think it knows exactly.
Including
what it
the
is,
children. Even the children are fucking annoying.
Well, all children.
Okay.
I think that you don't get this style, Tad.
All right. Did you get that out? Are you all done? Okay, good.
I don't think he gets the angst of being a Norwegian or a Swede.
No, I thought.
Yeah, because I didn't pick that movie last week.
No,
Yeah.
I thought this film was absolutely remarkable because it focused on one family and one thing that didn't really happen, and one person's exposure as being a morally flawed person, and how over the course of 3 days it tears the family apart. I mean, no one makes
Wait. Did you say didn't really happen?
The avalanche kind of didn't really happen. It was a bunch of snow fell on him, but he ran anyway, which is the thing, right? I didn't see it before I saw this film. I thought there was an actual honest to God avalanche, and he actually someone got killed.
But it was like a survival of the avalanche story.
Yeah, me too. But it wasn't.
It was the remake an hour ago. I just watched the avalanche scene. The avalanche scene, the remake. Will Ferrell comes off way worse than the guy.
I'm sure. Yeah. But anyway, it's subtle in that way. The way, and then it talks about family dynamic in a subtle way, and you see that tensions that were underneath there kind of open up, and it's just fantastic.
But here,
well done.
I don't believe any of it. I don't believe any of the acting.
But here's the thing. This is a movie that asks questions that barely any movie ever does. First of all, they just don't explore this type of thing. And secondly, he does it with such a deft hand, such a like command and control of his vision of it. And I think that like putting that balance, this is a balancing act of the greatest skill, because you have, this movie is funny as hell. But
that
you're not
one fucking scene
it's actually
where
really
they're sitting
funny.
there in the lawn chairs, and the girl comes up to tell him, my friend thinks you're like the hottest thing here, and you see, oh my God, you just made his day. And then 2 minutes later comes back as, no, was it you? And it did it without like dipping
I'm doing the background.
Like,
that's the music.
comedy.
Yeah.
Dude.
Like,
but again, exposing his insecurity.
Yes.
Yeah, and
like
it's just,
every time they cut to the maid guy who's like smoking, watching them, fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah,
that scene, John.
Watching them argue in the hall.
Yeah, the sound design on this movie is superb.
I have that written here. One of the best things is the fucking sound design.
It was good surround.
I'll give it. The guy found a very striking way. Like every once in a while, you get a shot that was like just pure like cinematography jerk off. Like I'm gonna like. At one point, we're like looking above them, like from a drone or something, and there's like a fall off, and there's like this wave of blue ice going one direction and white ice going the other, and it's like really, it's totally self-indulgent, but it's beautiful.
You know what this movie is? This movie is one of those shitty fucking surfing movies where there's just people surfing constantly, but they crammed a plot into it.
Oh, you're so wrong. You are so wrong.
Oh my God.
No, it's that.
You could hear.
Are you saying that this is beach blanket bingo? I'm sorry, man. It's
no. I'm saying it's Into the Blue.
Okay, you're saying it's Big Wednesday then, or like Blue Crush, right?
It's a documentary about
the point.
It's not about skiing. This movie isn't even a little bit about skiing.
No, it's not a movie about skiing, but they shot it like it was a movie about skiing, and then they crammed
didn't
a
at all.
The one thing I will say is the vacation these guys take is definitely one of privilege.
Yes, Jim.
Oh my God.
Definitely, like, this is not something just everybody gets to go do. Go fucking.
No, these are rich people. Yeah, these are rich people.
Rich people with rich people problems.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
No, these are super first world problems going on.
But here's the thing. But he cuts through that rich people problem by giving you a real incident, a real scenario.
That's the thing. The problems
They're
that families having
rich. Every one of them has a fucking $100 toothbrush in this photo. Every single one of them.
$400 toothbrushes.
Paid for by their national health.
Actually, 300 krona toothbrushes in this.
They're all very privileged people. But the point is that he throws in the crux. The scenario is a very human moment. It doesn't matter what kind of money you have. This is about he goes through that facade and breaks it down to what kind of person you are.
Absolutely.
It's so brilliant that their friends come visit and then they end up fighting about the fucking thing.
You know what that reminded me of was Kill Me, She Dies Tomorrow, where it's like just the proximity, like and now to whatever the dude from Game of Thrones and his girlfriend are fighting.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This dude's reaction is basically like the goo in the previous film. It's gonna take over everyone.
We're constantly comparing this to She Dies Tomorrow, a movie everyone hated.
No, you're all wrong. This is like Holiday. You see, understand how it's all like Holiday and all.
They've got a problem. They're spending time with him, and now they've also got a problem.
Anyway,
within the space of 30 seconds, this movie's been compared to She Dies Tomorrow, Holiday, and the H-Man.
Pretty much.
You're all fucking criminals.
But here's the thing. Like Chris was saying, my comparison to H-Man was it's the goo that keeps going because you can't.
It's the goo that keeps
going. Just by hearing the story, they ruined that other couple's fucking relationship almost. Like,
okay. Also, Jared, who has not been in a situation like that where you walked in and there's some tension going on and you go outside with your loved one and you're like,
yeah,
what the fuck? And then you feel shit boiling up in your own relationship. It was so human.
Yep.
It was so recognizable.
I've got a tick that when I
go ahead.
My toes will flick.
Really?
That's like there was probably 40 minutes where it probably sounded like castanets.
This is a 10 on Chris's toe flick scale.
The toe flick meter.
I'm like, oh shit, man. Like the guy's like, what are you freaking out about? It was nothing. But you also know there's a moment where he knows he fucked up.
Chris, if you make a toe flicking scale, we're gonna get way more YouTube subscribers. I'm just gonna tell you that right now.
Toe flicking scale.
I have. Fucked up. She's pissed, but she's doing like the poker face thing. But you just see like he's just like, oh God, when's it coming? He knows it's coming.
And I have personally been like with a girlfriend and gone over to a couple's house for dinner, and you show up and it's obvious that they've been fighting before they open the door.
Yeah.
And that it's not right, and something is, and yeah, I've had that conversation, Scott.
Everyone's
where it's
talking to their teeth, basically.
Yeah, I was like, should we leave? Like, are we? Like you get your significant other alone for a minute, and you're like, I think they're not doing well. We should go. Like
the sulking, the guys who just like suddenly turn like 6-year-old boys, and they're like in the corner sulking. They both did it. Like this is like this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I've seen a lot of that. Yeah.
Like this movie,
the observational stuff in this is so great.
Yeah.
The woman,
couples and relationships and marriage. Just
it's just right on. I mean, these are my peoples. Tad was saying, it's like this is what was it? Boys in the Hood? What'd you say?
No, this is straight out of Compton for
the whitest movie ever made. And I said they just played.
Now, actually, I want to stop there. Someone said
I want to own this because
let's not conflate this. Let's not conflate this with what we Americans think of what a white story is or anything like that. This is a profoundly European story. about
I don't know, I think it's like human
this you can
story.
almost
Europe, where the white people
you
come
could cast
from.
this as like a Marxian story about privilege and the bourgeoisie. You really could. You know,
You
this
could,
is all,
but again, I think I'm with John. It's a human story at its core. At its core,
you could have done this with poor people and worked the same way. They could all be at a resort in Ozarks, and they probably end up the
If it
same
was
way, right?
poor people, I actually probably would have cared more.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Also,
But
that family,
you couldn't have this beautiful, like, the thing about the setting in this movie is it's another character. It's almost everything.
Do you know
like the fact that you can hear music constantly going and people constantly talking every time they're like in a hallway or like walking around. I mean, literally in the background, it's always,
oh no,
you know, it's just like, and they're trying to just do their vacation, but it's obviously like a party, fucking
the resort
and the shot behind John is like, by the second time I saw that, I was almost laughing out loud. That guy just like lighting a cigarette, and
he's the best part of the movie.
No,
the resort to bottom is the best part of the movie.
The ski resort is the ski resort is the Overlook Hotel.
Yes.
No, seriously, it's a character in this movie because
it is.
It's the look of the inside, the kind of the oppressive, warm colors, and outside there's always weird shit happening. There's big horns going blam, and there's things going up and down the mountain. It's like a ravenous beast.
Yep.
You know, almost.
And it's always alive. It's always awake.
Yes, exactly.
Like people may sleep in this movie, but the environment never sleeps in this movie.
It's really something. It really is it kind of weird. It puts a weird pressure because it's kind of like, you're spending a lot of money and time is going really fast for this family. It's really interesting.
And can I go through my list just real quick?
Yeah, please.
Like, obviously the cinematography, I think we can all agree on that.
How they do that shot, the bathroom shot, how they do it.
The wide shots. What's that?
I don't know how they did this.
I had no idea either.
I don't like
right into the mirror.
Like, how the fuck did you do that? And then, here's the thing: in the American remake, which is basically shot for shot remake most of the time, same thing. Like, I don't know whether this is CG or like.
No, they changed it on the American, because I watched the American one right after too, because I just wanted to see the difference. And remember, Chris, they had them divided. They had a thing, and they had a divider, and they went on either side of each other.
Oh,
it was actually completely different. It really missed the mark.
I was fast forwarding through a lot of it.
Yeah.
No, my guess is that gray tile background. They had a hole in it. They put the camera through the hole, and they CG'd out the hole.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's probably how they did it.
So go through your list, Jared.
The only other way to do it is with twins.
We've talked a lot about, but here's one thing that we haven't talked about that I really picked up on is both the color temperature of the overall film and how basically the costume design and set design, was basically infused with the color temperature of the movie, meaning like, even their clothing, their pajamas, the long pajamas, the stuff they wore when they're skiing, the colors that they put everyone in, I also thought this is how I know it's a sign of a good film and a good filmmaker, is because he thought about this stuff. And it's all purposeful. It doesn't feel willy-nilly. It doesn't feel like he's just like, oh, whatever ski people wear. No, he's like, it has to be this shade of like blue. It has to be this shade of green. It's like Wes Anderson shit. I'm telling you, it's that good.
Yeah.
And the wardrobe is a huge part of it. The pacing too. So in the American remake, the first shot of the movie is about the same, I think, if you remember, Chris. I think it's just like a wide shot of the mountains, right?
Wide shot of the mountains, and then the photo is.
Okay, so if I could define like a major difference why I love European cinema more than American cinema is this: the first shot of this movie lasted probably 30 seconds at least, like it just hung on it for fucking ever. And of course, the American one can't hang on a shot for 5 seconds; it has to cut immediately to another. Yeah, they're like, you've registered that. Let's go. And this one says, no. Like, this is where we are. We're in the mountains. You gotta watch. You gotta stay with this.
Isn't the first shot the family portrait?
Yes.
The photographer, who's great off camera.
Yeah. And see, okay, and that's another thing. In this film, the photographer is never on camera. It's a voice behind. In the American one, they show him, and it's just these are like, they seem like small things, but they're big deals. They're big deals.
I only looked at the American remake purely because I was like, what they do with this? Did they do anything different?
Also, if you can use Vivaldi like that to a comedic effect, I mean, that's just brilliant. Like, every time it comes in so super fucking loud, I was laughing. It was just amazing.
Yes.
I just thought this movie had real pathos, real humanity, the whole tone. This is a proper dark comedy, and I loved it.
No, it was funny, man. It was funny as hell. No, I knew this was a comedy when you saw the whole family in bed and they're matching H&M.
That's what I mean. That's the wardrobe.
Thing is, I looked at it and said that is so ridiculously well put together. Yeah. Perfect goddamn Swedish family. This is going to end up being hilarious. And I was right. It was actually.
And they hang on that shot like so many shots in this movie. They just hang it, and it's a lockdown camera, and it just sits there and lets stuff happen. And I just love the way this movie's shot.
Like, okay, for instance, here's another, just real quick. When there's a scene where the kids are upset. One of them, the boy is on the bed. The girl is playing like a video game, sitting by the bed.
The
mom comes in. The dad is in the background about waist level. The mom comes in, she's in like the right corner of the frame, but she's also still waist level. An American film would have cut up to see the parents' faces.
Yes.
This film just stays with the children. They talk to the mom and dad. The mom and dad are basically like, come on, get up. Like they're trying to get them out of their bad mood. And the kids are saying, get out of here, go. We just want to be alone. Because the kids know the parents are fighting and they don't like it.
Right.
But it's just like John just said, it's a lockdown camera. And it's like waist level, like bed, like height level.
It just stays on the kids because it's about.
It just stays on the kids. It never cuts up to the adults. That's good filmmaking because you don't need that.
They do that exact thing in that great lounge chair scene with that techno music blasting, and they think they're giving them a compliment, and then it almost turns into like a fist fight because jumps up. You never see the guys that they're talking to. You just see them shake a hand off screen, and then,
And tell me how much tension that scene built up by the end. You didn't know what was going to happen.
No. There's so many beautiful little one-shot scenes that are just sprinkled through this movie, where it's just lockdown camera, no cutting, and then it's on to something else. And they're kind of just dropped in from time to time.
And that music, that driving music in that particular scene, like Chris, if you remember when they did it in the American remake, it didn't have any of the tension at all.
That far in the American
I hate to say it, but I'm gonna tab with this one. There's a Eurotrash headache music, basically.
Yeah, but I wish I cared about any of the things you're talking about. Like, I really honestly
No. The filmmaker is purposely not in love with that music. He hates that music.
It's
No,
he likes I'm trapped at this resort music.
What I'm saying is I wish I cared about any of the scenes you're talking about. I didn't care about any of the characters in this movie. Like I wanted them all to suffer. And for me,
they did.
Yeah, but it's not fun. It's just like, oh, cool. These shitty people are having a shitty life. And
I love this movie more. I love this movie more on second viewing than I did.
So you had seen it.
Me too.
Last year, and Scott cut it out of our top fives, but it was my honorable mention. Besides, what was my other one? Hamilton.
Yeah.
But I left it because Hamilton.
The Hamilton thing was so bold.
Movie. For last year.
This movie stayed with me when I saw it in the theater, and I thank you so much, John, because I think I'm gonna watch this movie like every year now. It's gonna be like a tradition. Like I just
I don't want to see it again, but I did enjoy it.
Jim, wherever you are. Go, Jim.
The thing you've mostly all touched on it, but the thing I really liked was how you're plopped into the middle of this. There's obviously something wrong with their relationship before they even got to Switzerland or wherever the fuck they went. And it just gets worse and worse as the movie progresses until he finally, I love the scene where he like fakes crying.
Yeah.
And then he ends up really crying. Like,
who hasn't done that?
And also, the wife had to save him by like fake pretending a crisis on the slopes.
There's a lot of
but we don't know that for sure.
Well,
come on, who
thinks she?
Help me! I'm stuck in the fog.
Yeah,
I think it was a performance.
They went for a quickie in the snow.
I think she leaves him at the end of that.
I think it was a performance for the benefit of the kids and to keep the family.
Yes.
Keep the family.
Yeah, she actually had to do her thing.
Do you want to know what the American remake did?
What did they do?
Yeah, sure.
They actually had Will Ferrell plays the father character.
No, really?
So he goes up to she does the same thing. She's yelling, "Oh, Peter," or whatever. He comes up and they actually have a whole fucking scene. And she's standing there and she's like, fine. And she's like, this is for the benefit of the children. Because they don't look at you. They ruin it. Yeah,
this is what's wrong with American.
Exactly.
She's done. She's leaving.
No. No, we didn't have to see that. We didn't have to see that.
No. In the American one, they stay together. She just says, because they talk it out right there. She says,
disappointing.
It's so bad.
These people are absolutely staying together.
Most reviewers thought it was very bad too. So
they're absolutely staying together after this.
Yes,
they are. Well, until the kids turn 18, they're staying together, man.
Yeah, they're staying together.
They're trapped together.
As Scott said, until the kids turn 18.
Exactly.
The American remake doesn't do a major thing, which is how good is the end of this movie on the bus?
The best.
Oh my God. Because you have this complex, this movie is much more complex than I think we're giving it credit for, because suddenly you have this other sort of
I don't think this movie could possibly be more complex than you're giving it credit for.
Listen though. The end of this movie.
Jared's right.
The end of this movie is the bus ride away from the resort, okay? Right. They are leaving. They're done with their vacation. It's been this amazing, like this crazy shit show, right? But here's the thing. There's one more. They're suddenly perhaps in peril again,
right?
And the mom and the thing is it's probably an overreaction, right?
Maybe,
because that guy's probably going to get him out of there. I mean, he's obviously the shuttle driver. It's going to be
fine. That's like I have nightmares about going over cliffs in a bus. I would have probably got off the bus too.
But she takes upon herself to be like, we're not safe. It's almost like there's some kind of weird, like, I can't even put my finger on it because I think it's so brilliant and so complex. Yeah, it's like she is now seeing, like, she's overcompensating for the protection of the family.
She's the protector of the family now because the husband is no longer able to do it.
There's a reference to the SS Estonia in here.
Yeah,
and
I want to hear what do you say, John?
824 people died on that boat trip, and it's the worst. It's literally the worst maritime disaster in the 20th century.
That was a cruise line?
What?
That was a cruise line?
No, it was a ferry.
It was a car ferry.
Oh.
It didn't close the front doors properly, and it flooded and went down in less than 3 minutes.
I remember.
In the winter in the Baltic.
But wait, John,
that's the reference that they make, and that's what that bus ride is supposed to be.
Right.
Is like, oh, we're not going to be on the next SS Estonia, the bus that goes off the side of the cliff in France.
Right.
Is the SS Estonia.
Yeah, I want to be a part of a bus plunge, but
so if I can connect those dots, though, the scene, the penultimate scene, which is where they're in the whiteout conditions, and we think the wife fakes the rescue,
right?
So that order can be maintained. Dad is the savior.
The patriarchy is.
Dad goes first, kids go next, I go last.
No, and then the bus scene is the very next scene. They're leaving. The ski trip is over, and when an actual danger occurs, who's the person that speaks up? It's the mom.
The mom,
the protector, the family,
and shitty redhead friend.
Proving.
Yeah, I like him.
Proving, and the shitty redhead friend.
Kirk Douglas is a Viking.
He's awesome. He's awesome.
There's the big woman.
She's asserting herself the way she did, before, that she's actually the one who's going to protect people, protect the family. And they get out and they start walking, and that amazing final shot of just everybody walking down the road.
Yes.
Which is one of
I like that.
Beautiful.
But here's how I read that. I read that as he's in even more trouble after the bus thing because he wasn't right there with her.
No, he abdicated responsibility to the family as a protector. That was it.
He's actually okay now. That's why he smokes.
Oh no, I think he's 2X. That's why
no.
when they get home.
He's fine, but he has accepted his position as a fuck up.
Yeah.
It's like, Daddy, do you smoke?
Well,
yeah,
why the smoking starts?
No, the problem.
Daddy, do you smoke? Yes, I do.
Yeah, see, the cigarette is him saying, "We're going to be okay. We have our roles now."
I think that's him going, I got nothing left to lose. Give me a cigarette.
No, I think John's right. He's like, you know what it is? It's a really beautiful way of being like, he's realizing that he does not wear the pants in the family.
That was symbolizing to the audience. And let me tell you, we jump in there. I had a problem with this scene because we were going up to it. Two things rather with it. First of all, I got the comedy part. Yeah, she's in charge. She wears the pants. He doesn't. But you look down at tall shot down at the bottom of the thing. That's like that's like almost a 9-mile walk to the bottom of the mountain, right?
Yeah.
And what happened to their luggage?
The
thing is, yeah, whatever.
No, the luggage stayed on the bus, and hopefully
but whatever. They're in the middle of nowhere, going down a gigantic mountain. They're going to walk there by myself, and it's probably going to get nightfall soon. I didn't buy it.
The person who is
take me out of the movie. I think
the person who has their phone
they're clearly going uphill. I think they're going back to the hotel.
No, they're going downhill.
No, they're going
That's
downhill.
a long fucking
walk.
The person who has their phone who's filming the bus as it leaves, it's just like, no, you wouldn't do that because you now have to walk to the bottom of the fucking mountain.
Another bus is going to come along. They'll be fine, Scott. Don't worry.
No, I'm talking with the dog.
No, that's the fucking point. The fucking point is that they would rather walk than risk dying. And their luggage stayed on the bus. It's going to meet them at the bottom. And the thing is, there's that other chick who was like, fucking, I'm staying on the bus.
Right.
Remember? They're like the chick at the front, the chick that likes to, that likes to fuck everyone. She's like, you guys are fucking pussies. I'm staying on the bus.
No, it knocked me out of the film. It struck me as something that people don't do. And I didn't think it was, the rest of the film was plausible. That was not.
I loved it.
Also, none of them have jackets on. Everyone's out there in fucking.
This is like being worried about the kids in the car, John.
Yeah, right.
Most of them are Swedes, though. It's springtime and
true. They probably think it's like
for stuff. Yeah. So Jim, once again, can we clear the decks for let Jim talk?
Anyway, I thought the last fuck you, Todd. ad.
Sassy Jim.
I thought the last scene was her just overreacting because I've been on buses like that.
That's what I thought too.
And, it's like she freaks out from all the other shit that's been going on. It's like, I love the bus driver because he's just like, he puts his hand out to her like, get off the fucking bus, lady.
And he doesn't say,
like, turn around.
I love the bus driver too because he doesn't fucking say anything. He's just like, I'm just doing my fucking job. If you want to freak out, like,
not very well.
You can walk. No,
I kind of agree with.
Have to do that on a bus.
I think that's what's funny about. I think that's what's funny about this. I think Jim's kind of right. I think that the mom actually is overreacting there, and she starts a revolution. And the thing is it's not that it wasn't warranted but it's not warranted 100%. I think that there's a weird now nervousness in her because of that dumb avalanche thing and because of her husband, recognizing something about himself and her having to try and accept that.
She's taking
now she's kind of second guessing her own existence and her own safety. And so she's saying at the first sign of something that could be perilous, she's gonna call it. You know what I mean? Like,
also, you get a glimpse of it's getting cold, the sun's going down.
Yeah.
She pulls her sweater around her a little bit more, and some other people do. They actually look a little pissed off with her.
Yeah.
Yes.
That they should have stayed.
Maybe this was a bad decision. Exactly.
This movie is about the Karens winning.
Yeah.
No. Actually, I'm getting behind Tad on this one because
first of all, when this episode airs in 5 years and no one's talking about Karens, you're gonna look like a real fucking dipshit, dude.
No.
Don't be trendy. Don't be a trendy.
I'm not the one who's dressed like a disposable character in The Life Aquatic, motherfucker.
Don't be a trendy. Don't latch onto trends though, my game playing fucking friend. It's not a good look.
The thing is this movie really about millennials?
Getting closer.
No, is this movie about millennials? About the millennial the crisis? This is
I don't know. Are these millennials?
Remember the End of Men thing where during we're wearing a screenplay, John? This is kind of like that.
70s. So it's Gen X.
It's Gen X.
Yeah, these feel like Gen X.
These guys aren't Gen X.
The fact that we can debate it this much, I think, proves how good this movie is.
Yeah.
Well, okay, sorry. Thumbs up.
It's all of you being mad at me. Like, that's not a debate. Like I don't like this movie, and the rest of you do.
Look,
we're not mad at you. We're just talking about how good it is.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we're
not liking a movie is okay.
Your views are valid. They're wrong, but they're valid.
This is definitely like one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Whoa!
Seriously?
Yeah, I didn't say that. I said that literally this isn't a debate.
There's something about it. There's something about it that pushes all the right like little buttons for me. Like there's something about
me too.
there's so many movies.
I don't know if I want to see it again.
There's so many movies in the world, but like this one, sometimes you just feel something where you're like, I just like that. There's something about it. Okay. And this is that movie for me. Like if this had been on, if I hadn't seen this and this had been, you know, last week's, like this would be my number one. You know what I mean?